We finished last week talking about Al-Iman, the signs of our faith, how to maintain it, how to see if it's declining and decreasing or increasing. And then I started slowly talking about the objectives and the goals of Islam, what we call in Arabic maqasid al-sharia, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made halal and haram. Why? What are the goals and objectives? And I tied it slowly into the objectives and the goals of bringing up our children. This is what we're going to be focusing on today. So I talked on it very briefly. Inshallah, today we'll try and expand on this a bit more. So we said that there are 5 objectives and goals when we bring up our children. We said the first one is religious awareness, tying our children to Allah, to God. We said the second thing, adopting good morals. I'm just going to list them quickly, then I'm going to take each one up. The third one is developing a sense of Islamic collectiveness, part of a community, Islamic community. The fourth one is developing or forming a physically fit Muslim. And what comes with a physically fit is a healthy person or healthy Muslim, spiritually, psychologically, mentally, a healthy Muslim. These are the 5 objectives of when we bring up our children. This is what should be in the forefront of our minds, and everything we do should fit in to one of these 5 goals or categories. Let's start with the first one. Actually, let me start with the last one. It's the easiest last one. And I think I spoke slightly about that last time. Say, forming a physically healthy Muslim. What does Sayyidina Muhammad say? Sayyidina Muhammad says, Al-mu'min al-qawi khayrun wa ahabbu ila Allah min al-mu'min al-daif. Translation, a faithful Muslim, a strong, faithful Muslim is more closer to Allah, is beloved more by Allah than a weak, faithful Muslim. Now, strength isn't just the strength of your Iman. So Sayyidina Muhammad made it, he generalized strength, strengthen your body, strengthen your will. And that will go to the second one, actually, which is a healthy mentally, from a mental and from a spiritual perspective. But from a body perspective, from a physical perspective, from a health perspective. So does that mean that it's enough just to make my child or go to learn karate or judo or tennis or football or go to the gym? Good, that's good, of course, that's not enough. Everything that damages your body, that leads to an unhealthy body, you're breaking the objective. And that ties in with the objectives of Islam, of halal and haram to start with. We said that Islam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made things halal and made things haram. One of the 5 reasons is to protect life. So food, drinks that are unhealthy, that's wrong. From an Islamic perspective, that's wrong. Doesn't mean that you can't give them sweets. No, of course. They can have that continuous fast food, continuous harmful food. No. Vaping, smoking, anything that harms your body suddenly becomes non-permissible. But not just on yourself, but on your children. So if Allah's trialing and testing someone with something like that and he's having difficulty, remember, it's not just yourself now. Any young child or any brother that inhales it and is damaged, his lungs are damaged, you're now getting part of that sin. It becomes a very serious thing. All right. So What else about health body? What makes a body health or healthy? We don't focus, well, not all of most of parents focus on this one, but we have to really give proper focus on the full health of a child, taking them regularly to doctors, to dentists. We do that as part of a checklist. Change your intention, you get a reward for this. And this is the beauty of Islam. An act that you always do, like eating, we always eat, correct? No, everyone eats. Who doesn't eat? You don't eat, you die. But if you eat with the intention, I want a healthy body, in the sake of Allah, every bite you take, you get a reward. Every bite, every glass of water you drink, you get a reward. How good is that? And we are starving for rewards from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right. The second thing, the mental and spiritual balance for a Muslim. Now, this is a really difficult topic, because we have got multiple problems in our societies right now that results in impacting children's mental health. And the signs are all around us. So, for instance, alhamdulillah, children that have, or children that, like us, that have come from a non-English background, will face bullying, will face a form of racism. Now, you can protect them, but that does impact them. How do you deal with your child? What do you tell your child? It's not good enough to tell them they're bad, you're good, that's it. Because this is, it results in a disease, it results in a psychological scarring of that child. And that is something that we need to address. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala addresses it with us. Sayyidina Muhammad addresses it. He starts by, first of all, laying the background, laying the foundation that in Islam, we are all equal in the eyes of Allah. Men, women, white, black. Doesn't matter what you are. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Muhammad says that Allah does not look at our bodies and our colors. He looks at our hearts and our deeds. That's it. As far as Islam is concerned, whatever act you're doing, that's what elevates you or drags you down. That's the foundation, the starters. And we must teach our children that. We must teach our children that. Also, the second thing, how many times have we spoken to our children to find out what problems they have? Which means two things. One, you need to be closer to your children. It's all well and good to go and work and come back, and we all do that. We all go and work and finish work at 5 or 6 or 7 and come exhausted, and the kids coming in to talk to you about something. Oh, you're tired. You have to allocate quality time to listen. Just listen to what they say. That's one. For the brothers that haven't got married, that means you have to marry young. Why? Well, if the difference between me and my child is 40 years, do you think the child's going to be able to connect? Or if the difference between me and him is like 25 years, who do you think the child will be able to connect more? The smaller the distance, the age gap between you and your children, the easier you'll be able to connect to them. So for the brothers that haven't got married, what are you waiting for? Money? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blesses you with money. When you take the intention, Allah will bless you. Don't worry about the money. For those of us that are old, we're children. The moment they're able to reach the age and able to get married, start. It's unusual that someone is 30 years old and still starts to think of getting married. Why? You're not doing favors for your children. You're not connected to your children. When your child has a problem, wants to speak to someone, who's he going to speak to? That man, that's 50 years difference between me and him, or should I speak to one of my mates? That's like 3-5 years difference. And God knows what that person or teacher or someone what's he going to tell them? I have no idea. Got no control over that. Right. And this is really I'm stressing on this one because I have seen brothers that are 30, 35, and Allah's blessed them with money, with wealth, and they're just waiting. I've no idea what they're waiting for. There is no perfect human being. Allah Sayyidina Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam taught us that people marry for five reasons: for money, for power, for family, for lineage. You know, someone's got a title, and for religion. Sayyidina Muhammad said, out of all those five, marry the one that will protect your religion, the one that's got good religion, the one that's closer to Allah, no matter what she is, who she is, even if she's not the richest or the most beautiful, or these things don't matter in the end, because you're trusting your children to someone. They don't have a good religion. Who are you trusting your children to? Okay, so we teach this to our children. For the brothers that haven't got married, this is for you to learn and to understand, because this will impact yourself and will impact your children's mental health. All right, I'm going to skip the first one, which was religious awareness and connecting to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is what we focus on, and our life revolves around this. Brothers and elders and sisters, if we do not connect to Allah, and that's why I followed this from the talk about the Iman. If we do not connect to Allah, how can we connect our children to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? If we teach our children that it's important to, I said the saying, the Arabic saying last week, I believe, or a week before, I can't remember, is that فاقد الشيء لا يعطيه. If you don't have something, you cannot give it. If we teach our children that it's important to go jogging 6 o'clock every day, no matter what happens, I'm going to take you. And I've seen some families there. They've got little kids. 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock in the evening, or sorry, in the morning, they take their children to jog every day, every single day. I saw that, mashallah. That's good. What are you teaching your child? You're teaching your child that nothing's more important than physical exercise. The same thing is with Islam. If I do not wake up my child for the Fajr every single day, no matter what happens, what message am I giving to my child? So if I don't wake him for the Fajr or wake her for the Fajr, to pray the Fajr on time, not in the morning, not after it's passed, because he needs to sleep, because he needs to go to school, because he's or she, then what do you think the message that child is going to get? The message is that Islamic awareness is number two. Number one is whatever you want to put down, be it school, be it study, be it whatever it is. It doesn't matter. We're not saying these are not important. We're saying to prioritize what we're teaching our children. If I do not prioritize for my child to memorize the Quran, what message am I telling him? But I'm teaching my child to learn other languages. I'm really focused. You have to learn French. I'll take him to, or you have to learn ballet, or you have to learn boxing, or you have to learn whatever it is, football, or doesn't matter what it is. What do you think the message the child is getting? How are we passing over the awareness and the closeness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? أقول قولي هذا أستغفر الله لي ولكم استغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. Ask Allah forgiveness, may He forgive our sins. I won't be able to finish the other two this khutbah. So inshallah, if Allah blesses us with life, next week I'll continue. So I'll continue with this topic about putting awareness of Allah and connecting them with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So how do I connect my child with Allah? SubhanAllah, the day is broken down to 5 days of prayer. We've spoken about how to recharge our faith. We spoke about that we need to read Quran. We need to do adhkar, remembrance of Allah, the daily supplications that we do to Allah. So let's start with a very basic thing, prayer. 5 prayers a day, on time, unacceptable that your child does not pray. Actually, pray with your child. If you're at home, pray with your child, Jamaa. And for the sisters, pray with your daughter, Jamaa, in a group. Every 5 prayer. They don't accept, I'll go and pray on my own. Don't accept it. No. I trust you, I'm sure you'll pray on your own. No, but no, pray with me. Pray together. 2 reasons. 1, you'll be able to correct mistakes. 2, they will learn from you. So as they see you pray, they'll learn from you. And there's a third one for yourself, is that because you're teaching your child, you're getting to the mentality of making it the best prayer. So it's like 2 birds with 1 stone. You're fixing your prayer because of the child. And which is good. Perfect. Lovely. Excellent. Number 1. And like I said, and like I repeat every week, take your child once to the mosque if you're able to. Isha is at 7:30. I promise you, they won't freeze if you take them to the mosque to pray the Isha and back. The weather, I know it's cold, but they won't freeze. They'll come to the mosque, they'll pray, and they'll come back again. They'll get used to it. Because what I've seen in the mosques, you'll see brothers take their young children when they're maybe 3, 4 years old, when they don't need to go, to be honest. Awesome, it's good. Nothing wrong with that at all. Maybe even when they're 5 years old. Once they reach 14, 15, they don't pressure them to do that. Even though that's the time when you need to pressure them to come with me to the mosque. That's the best time. Because once they reach 18, that's it. They'll go to university and Allah Alam, but whatever you've instilled in them is what they'll take. The second thing is the Quran. We said that you have to have a set signs to read every day. And we said 5. We've been 3 weeks so far, been trying to remind you, read just 5 signs of the Quran every week. Sorry, every day, 5 signs. Let your child read with you. He might not be able to read, let him listen. It's fine, let him listen. You're reading, open it, just listen with dad. That will put pressure on you to read, but he has to see you read. I'm going to, I know there's more to talk about this. Inshallah, we'll try and expand a bit more from next week. I'll go through the regular reminders that we do every week. So today's Friday. So Surah Al-Kahf. Again, like I would like to remind you, myself and my brothers, YouTube, Kahf, listen to it. It'll take you 5-10 minutes, tops. Not more than that. Recitation will take you roughly 7-10 minutes. Listen 10 minutes and you're done. That's all you have to do. If you read it, by the way, if you listen to it enough times, you'll memorize it on your own. You'll find that I'm repeating with them, and before you know it, you've memorized it. How good is that? It's Allah forgives all your sins from the week, from Friday to Friday when you read Surah Al-Kahf. Don't forget to do that. Don't forget to do that in front of your families, and remind them to do that. Reading Quran, we said 5. We're in the 3rd week now of 5. Next week, we're going to try and make it 7. But let's stick with 5. Read 5 signs, try to understand what they mean. Now, get them with one of your kids, that'll be good. Third reminder is prayer in the mosque. 1 prayer in the mosque, just once. Go to any mosque, and I believe our brothers from Wicks have started in a community centre somewhere. Wusu, I believe. Pray over there. If you're close to it, it's too far away to go anywhere else, pray over there. It's fine. Go pray in the mosque. Make it part of what you do. The 4th final thing, which is our brothers. We spoke about Islamic communities. We do not forget our brothers in Palestine or Lebanon or Sudan. The Muslims are not dying in 1 or 2. They're dying by the dozens, by the hundreds. Every day, people become desensitized. You open the news, 20 dead. Oh, it's just 20 today? Oh, it's not 50 or 100? It's become ridiculous. And most of those that are dying are children. Again, what can we do for this? First thing, diet. Number 1. That goes without saying. It's not hard to raise your hand to Allah and ask Him to grant them safety, security, and victory. It's not hard to do that. Just raise your hand. No one's going to stop you from doing that. No one can see what you're doing. That's number one. There are many charities. Go to any online charity that you trust, give them money to Palestine, to Sudan, to Kashmir. I've every week I keep on counting the countries. There's no country that's not bleeding. Number three, talk about it. Tell people about it. If you saw something horrible happen, God forbid, to someone in your family, you would raise it on all social media. We would talk about it to everyone. It's not acceptable. These are our brothers and our sisters. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made them our brothers and sisters. I'm not telling you that. This is Allah telling us that. إِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ إِخْوَةٌ. All believers are brothers and sisters. End of. To the extent that in the early days of Islam, they used to inherit from each other. So, talk about it. Allah.